Jai Jinendra, everybody. Thank you very much for joining our event today. We want to make sure we start with Navakar Mantra. If possible, we can start with Navakar Mantra, and I can request Nikita to open us with Navakar Mantra. Nikita? Yeah, try now. Yes, it's working.
Okay, it was setting. Okay, we all can unmute, Apurva bhai, that's okay, and go together.
No, just you, just to avoid the backgrounds. Yeah.
Okay. Om Namo Arihantaram. Om Namo Siddhaya. Om Namo Arihantaram. Om Namo Siddharam.
Thank you, Nikita. I think we lost you there. It's okay. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. Jai Jinendra. Welcome to our first event for 2025. Thank you very much for all of you to join. I want to say, let's have a great year together. Thank you very much, Jain Community Services, young Jain professionals, and a whole team of volunteers behind us to make this event successful. I want to start by saying this is only possible with the blessings of our seniors in the Jain community and is possible due to God who has given us the power and the ability to proceed here. So, again, thank you everybody for being here. I want to start by saying thank you to Jain Community Services to collaborate with young Jain professionals and motivate us to help Jains in all of North America. You will be very happy to know that we together are a community of 13,000 members across North America. And this community is growing. We are not a visible minority anymore, and Jains are rocking North America. With this in mind, I want to start by introducing young Jain professionals. We are a group of young Jains who are trying to make young Jains' life easier. What we do is we provide career services, accommodation service, educational events around Jainism and other topics, sports, entertainment, networking, and most importantly, helping people to achieve their dreams. And with that, we also have the opportunity to partner with all the sanghs and temples across North America. We have 70 temples who are helping us today. Jain Community Services has been around for the longest time. Manar Uncle Seth is with us here today. I do want to give him a couple of minutes to introduce as well. Jain Community Services is doing an amazing job and making a difference in people's life in number of services that we provide that can help young and seniors who are here in Canada and USA. Manar Uncle, I will like to give you 2 minutes to please introduce yourself and tell us and enlighten us with your speech. Uncle, you have to unmute, sir. Manan Uncle, you have to unmute. Yes, it's working.
Now I'm okay, Apurva?
Yes, it's okay. Yes,
So,
Uncle, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Apurva, for giving me an opportunity to talk for a few minutes. Jain Community Services is around since 1985, about 40 years, and the seeds was planted in 1976, and we could start the this we started providing service with the help of my elders, Bapuji Mohanlal Mehta and Mr. and B.N. Shah. The B.N. Shah is the past president of Jain Society of ex past president. We are providing services, humanitarian services. We do not like to get into the religious part of our Jain religion or Hindu religion or any other religion. We concentrate only on humanitarian service. And we started our service with cremation service, Jain cremation service as per Jain Vidhi. We were the pioneer in the whole world to start this service as per the Jain Vidhi, and it flourished and it is going on till today. And we have my associate Prafulla Ben, who is conducting these services. We go any part of Canada. Whenever people need us, we are there. And that is the way we provide many services, including matrimony services. We provide many services which we'll list later on. And I am really happy that Apurva has taken over the reign of Jain Community Services for about since last year. I'm very happy the work he is doing from his heart. He has got a team of people who are helping him. He's leading the team and he's doing a wonderful job. And I'm really proud of it. So
Thank you.
we are proud of it. And he is also the vice chair, right, Apurva, of YJP.
Co-chair. Yes, Uncle. Yes.
And the president of Jain Community Services. So this brings both the groups together. YJP is made up of all the young professionals. Jain Community Services is made up of all the young fellows and the old fellows, and you can see there is a variety of people providing service as well as taking the service. So I won't take much time of this.
Thank you, Uncle.
And I will hand it over back to Apurva. And any questions you have, you can ask, and Apurva will be very happy to answer, or I can answer. Thank you. Jai Jinendra ke.
Thank you, Uncle. So we have 3 more minutes. I'll just walk you quickly through the team here today, the presenters, our sponsors, and also the agenda very quickly. So starting 3:15, you're going to hear from our expert speaker, Sujal, who is a registered and certified nutritional expert. Health is very important, and we started the year to talk about health because without health, we cannot be successful. Thank you, Sujal. We have my counterpart co-chair, Manan Mehta, who is from US. Love his support and service. We are actually kind of apart. He being in US, I'm in Canada, but we work so well together. And thank you very much for your partnership. And we have obviously Manar Uncle that you heard from. We have Nikita Gandhi, who is my counterpart in Jain Community Services, who did the Navkar Mantra for us. Thank you. And we have Ashwin Bhai, who is always there to support us for anything to do with Jain community, including Samayak. We have our esteemed sponsor, Neeru Bhai and Ramila Kamdar, who has graciously donated some money for this opportunity and given us the support today. Thank you. And we have a host of YJP directors who are working very hard in the background, which you will hear about them in the chat box very soon. And thank you very much for the whole volunteer team who has taken the time to join us today. Without further ado, it's 3:14. I want to tell you, take the advantage of this opportunity. Health and wellness is super important. I'm sitting with you here today. I know I have a little bit of cough and cold. If I'm at 100%, it makes me feel good and I can contribute to the society. So keep the health piece going for you in 2025. With that, I'll give it 1 minute to Manan Mehta also in case he has anything to say about this event.
Sure. Thank you, Apurva Bhai. Jain there, everyone. Thanks again for being with us. Our first YJP's first event of the year and first of our virtual seminar series. So stay tuned for more. As Apurva Bhai mentioned, I'm co-chair of Young Jain Professionals. We're committed to bringing you programming that enriches your professional, personal, and spiritual lives. And I have no doubt, today will be no exception here with Sujal. So just some ground rules. Please stay muted. If you have any questions throughout the session, you can drop them in the chat box. Please try and turn on your video if possible. It just helps us, stay more engaged and focused. And lastly, when you had registered, many of you had submitted questions. We will be answering those in the second half of today's session. So please try and stick with us for the entire thing. You won't regret it.
Excellent. So with that, Sujal will pass it to you with drum rolls. Sujal, welcome, and please take it over and go ahead with your screen sharing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. I am so looking forward because this is my first event with my community people. I have been doing this for years, but completely focusing on Jain community and, empowering them with the knowledge and the tools that I have learned myself and helped myself and my clients. I'm like, okay, this is the time. That's when I reached out to Apurvaji and this event turned out. So thank you so much, everyone who has been involved in making this happen. The best way to get the most out of this event is staying engaged, asking questions, right? That means when you are gonna switch on your cameras, because this is not gonna be a boring lecture, and I'll try my best to not make it a lecture, because let's face it, we have information on our fingertips, right? Anything you just want to ask ChatGPT or Google and you know the questions, right? The answer, sorry. So to make the most of it, when I'm asking questions, when I'm asking polls, please do engage and just answer. Okay, sounds good? Type yes in the chat. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. Okay, I want a thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Good. How do I have this? Okay, cool. Skip it down. So thank you so much again, everyone, for showing up today. I understand Saturday afternoon. You would have been, watched a movie or went out for shopping or had some funs with your friends or family, kids, right? Take them to some activity. But the fact that you are showing up here means that you want to take care of your health. You want some questions to be answered. And that's what we're going to do here in this blood sugar blueprint. Okay. We are going to talk about how to fire that metabolism, how to lose weight without dieting, how to prevent diabetes in the first place. And if at all you are struggling with that, how to reverse that. Okay. So my first question, I said we're going to make it more engaging. What comes to mind when you first hear about the word diabetes or pre-diabetes or high cholesterol? Type in the chat. Whatever comes to your mind. Anyone? What do you think about the words? So this will help me understand if we have the right audience or not in the room.
Someone said no ice cream.
Yes, fats, perfect. Less sugar and oil. Yes, lifestyle changes. Sugar, heart and kidney disease. Yes. High sugar in blood, blockage arteries, beautiful, Sagar, perfect. Stress, no desserts. That's sad, right? Sedentary lifestyle. Oh, it's an alarm. Perfect. Very well said. No ice cream. Okay. So you understand that, whenever we hear these words from the doctor, wow, you're diabetic or you have these issues, things needs to change. You cannot just go on how you were living your lifestyle, correct? You might be experiencing tiredness, brain fog. You might be seeing that fasting blood sugar just rising rapidly. You might be already on metformin or some other medications. You might be observing some sort of belly fat or fats around your hips and thighs, especially for women. You are observing that stubbornness and you're not losing that weight, right? You might be on medications, multiple medications, not just one. It can be your statin, it can be blood thinning, it can be your blood pressure medications, right? And for many, it's the thoughts of, yes, I might need to cut the rice, avoid fruits, because that will just elevate my sugar, correct? These are the biggest mistakes, that keeps us stuck. Number one, carbs are bad for blood sugar. You always, and a couple of you just thought that, right? Like I might have to cut rice or ice cream, of course. You need to eat less and exercise more. You'll have to start medication early on without trying any lifestyle changes. Another mistake that you cannot build enough muscles as a vegetarian or a vegan. And last one, losing weight means starving yourself, means restrictive diets, right? Do you agree? These are the questions, these are the mistakes you have either faced yourself, you have seen someone talk about, or you also believe in one or the other. So this workshop is for you. If you want to understand what is insulin resistance and reverse that while still eating carbs, still enjoying your rice, biryani. You want to lose your stubborn weight without starving yourself. You want to feel energized, strong, and in control of your health again. You do not want to get in your doctor's next appointment with stress. And you want to live life on your terms without depending on those medications. Cool? So why are we here? What are we doing? Why this topic is so important? Let's understand. Some stats here, because many times we think, oh, my friend had it, someone in the family member had it, but not me, right? Let's understand what the stats say. Almost 1 in 4 US South Asians have diabetes. Almost this South Asian migrants especially, right? They have 3 to 5 times of risk of heart attacks and death compared to other ethnic groups. Over 1 in 4 US South Asians have hypertension. And Asians, Indians especially, have highest rate of being overweight among other Asian groups. We just talked about initially how Jains are rocking the world, right? We are making progress in all the fields, living a good lifestyle, finances. We are absolutely, we have been fortunately great with that part of life. Why are we struggling with health? Because these numbers are not just for any other ethnic group. These are mainly for us, for South Asians. I want to share one story. This is me, my cousin. His name is Mitesh. And he's my buddy papa's, son, just 1.5 years older to me. We grew up together in a joint family. I'm from Nasik in Bharat. 3 years ago, we found out he's having some issues, some struggles. 2 years ago, I lost him. He died with heart attack. There were multiple serious issues with his health. And that is when I was, of course, I'm already doing this health coaching, and that was the moment where I felt so helpless. I was like, I couldn't even help my own brother. How will I do this? How will I spread the word and help everyone understand the seriousness of this? We hear, right? Our friends and family, so many heart strokes or sudden deaths at very early age. He was just 41. So please understand and pay attention for whatever I'm going to share next. Because you're not alone. Millions struggle with weight, with stress, and insulin resistance. So we are going to discover why those traditional approaches fail. Why traditional approaches of asking to just stop eating carbs or stop eating fruits. We have to learn a new way. Cool? Are we here? Are we with me so far? Okay. So Insulin resistance, why this is important, right? Why this should matter so much? Because this is the key which gives birth to other diseases. As I said, stroke, your coronary artery diseases, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases. You name it, PCOD, Alzheimer, you name it, and insulin resistance is there. It is always stopping you from living your life to the fullest. So managing blood sugar is critical, even if you have type 2 diabetes or not, or even if you want to lose weight or not. This is the key to longevity, okay? Improving your quality of life. So if you struggle with those energy levels, mood swings, or even managing your weight, let me tell you, you are at the right place. So my promise to you today is we are going to learn how to reverse the cellular process that underlying these metabolic diseases like blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver disease. You are going to walk away with a clear picture of actionable items that you can carry out day to day with perfect blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels. And most important thing, how to integrate this into your lifestyle, how to make these habits fit into your day-to-day life. Okay. So I highly encourage and request everyone, please do not pay attention to your phones, because it is very easy to just, do multitasking with such kind of workshops and webinars. And you might miss something very important which can connect with you and which can actually give you some deeper insights on your health. Okay. On scale 1 to 10, how important is improving your health now? Go and type in the chat. How important is it? 10, 10, beautiful. 9, 10, awesome. 11, I love that. Yes, beautiful. So you are here, you are in the right place, and I'm talking to right people. Who am I? Why should I talk on this topic, first of all? So guys, my name is Sujal Sancheti. I'm a certified sports nutrition specialist and a competitive powerlifter. My story started at 32 when I went on a regular annual physical checkup, and I walked out with my lab work showing me my pre-diabetes condition, high levels of triglycerides. LDL was skyrocketing. My thyroid levels were imbalanced. My doctor immediately prescribed me, start with your thyroid and blah, blah, blah. And, there was a list of medications, and I was 32 with 2 young kids. My daughters are Tashvi and Ritvi. I live with my husband here in Dallas, and they were barely 3 and 4.5, 5, roughly 5. This is when I understood that something needs to change, because guess what? I was not even super overweight. Yes, I had some belly fat, which I could easily hide under my loose clothes or shapewear most of the times. And I always thought that whatever brain fog and drained energy that I'm feeling is simply due to lack of, I'm just not taking care of myself, of course. I have young kids and, paying my and more energy is going into raising them, nourishing them. And I did not pay attention to my symptoms. There was erratic eating. I did not eat on time. I used to snack more than eating my lunch or, main meals. And that moment was a game changer in my life when I was diagnosed as diabetic person at 32 years old. That's when I started learning more and got myself certified, multiple certifications. I will, of course, this is not about me, but I just wanted to, show you how it starts. And sometimes you do not get an opportunity to actually understand or accept or acknowledge that something is wrong with you. You take it easy, take it for granted. No, all fine, I'm good. It is just temporary stress, but it is not. Internally, the damage starts, and it can just grow if you do not pay attention. Have you seen that there is one symptom and then, you just knock it down and then like whack-a-mole, and then, there's another symptom, like maybe you might just see some weight gain in the beginning. Then after some time, you start seeing high cholesterol. But then doctor says, okay, cholesterol is fine, total cholesterol doesn't matter, just work on your HDL, just improve that. Then slowly you also get your high blood pressure medication on. And this is the typical story that I hear from my clients I work with. Most women, they, after their post-pregnancy, they are focusing on improving their health. Of course, they want to get rid of the extra fat that they have gained during the pregnancy. And then sometimes you do not take the right approach to lose that. And at the cost of health, you have internally, you have damaged your hormones. You start damaging your hormones, and then suddenly, just in 40s, you just come with the similar, doctor lab work that you are diabetes. So we want to change that. This is the whole reason we want to change that. We want to prevent it. You can relate this, right? You sometimes, if you're tired of giving up sweets and biryani, even bread, to realize your blood sugar is still high. Sometimes you see, for 4 hours I haven't eaten anything and my blood sugar is still high. You're so much overwhelmed and there is so much confusion around because there is so much information around, which is a good part, because now at least you have the tools and to understand what is actually going inside my body, and you do not have to just rely on just that one doctor. You are fed up with eating less constantly and then just, doing cardio, endless cardio, and just getting nowhere, right? So we are here going to dive into understanding what is the science behind this insulin resistance. Why am I constantly talking about insulin resistance all the time? Cool. So before we jump in, you need to, and I promise, these are just few slides where you're going to hear about some sciencey stuff. I promise I'm not going to make it so complicated, but it is important to just even understand it conceptually, okay? So in every single, you have your kids, or, when in your school time, basically, you must have read about mitochondria. Mitochondria is nothing but your powerhouse. It's a powerhouse cell that gives energy to individual cells to perform function, any kind of activity that our body needs, right? So on the left side, if you see here, this is a good quality mitochondria. You can see there is a lot of good thickness, and that means this is creating a lot of good energy for our muscles, okay? It's called ATP basically. And what happens is our lifestyle affects this. Its ability to create that energy. It's like, that generator, if it is too old and, you're not maintaining it well, it stops giving you the same energy for your building. Make sense? So our lifestyle affects the efficiency of this plant. It cannot process energy, if that jam is happening. So basically glucose and fatty acids, all that metabolism that is happening inside our body, it is blocked with the traffic jam, resulting insulin resistance, cardiovascular diseases, blood pressure, non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases, weight gain, so on and so forth. So this was important for me to just explain you what exactly that mitochondria is and what exactly affects. So of course, when you are not on a whole food diet and there is more processed diet happening, when you're missing and lacking movement versus you're just living a sedentary life, and when your stress levels are always through the roof, you're always chronically stressed, these are the things that affects this mitochondria in a very negative way. Are we good so far? Please write down yes. Is it too sciencey? Are you understanding? I will just change.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I want people to just type in the chat. So yes, you're with me. Perfect. So now let's understand what exactly happens in the insulin resistance, how it is built. Cool. So you can see this is your blood pool. Okay, insulin is, of course, it's your hormone that regulates your blood sugar levels. Correct. And it is the only way your blood sugar is regulated, and this is produced in your pancreas. Now this is a regular cell. Okay, this is your glucose, that blood sugar is present. Insulin is the key to the door. And whenever the blood sugar knocks on the door, insulin opens it and the cell just pulls up that sugar. Now, with this yellow thing that you see, these are nothing but fat cells. Okay, this is fat. Sorry, not cells, this is fat. So once that cell is basically getting too much fat built up inside the cell, that's when actually this glucose is just knocking the door. Insulin is also trying its best to open the door, but there is not enough room inside. So it has to say, hey, sorry, I cannot let you in. I'm full already. That's when that blood sugar just stays there. And you see that high fasting blood sugar or high A1C levels. So insulin actually can be your greatest weapon or the worst enemy. And I will show you how it is. It can be a greatest weapon if you understand how to use it correctly. Okay. At the moment when you are struggling with diabetes and such issues, or even weight, like having trouble to lose weight, that insulin is actually not your friend. You're just blaming it. Like, why the hell? Why is it so high all the time? So when insulin levels are high, your blood sugar levels are also high. Okay, they go hand in hand. So is low carb diet good to reduce or to reverse the type 2 diabetes? Let's understand what exactly this insulin resistance look like. And you see this sink? This is a regular sink, okay? Spout is on, water is flowing. Now, with the insulin resistance in the body, basically, there is a blockage in the pipe. There is something is blocked. What will happen? Once you switch on the spout, basically you will have an overflow. This is when there is extra sugar present. I tried my best, to pick the right analogy just to, make this easier and not show the science diagrams. So insulin resistance is like that blockage in a sink. So when this blockage is severe, water just overflows. So our glucose levels overflow in our blood. Okay. So if you do not want the sink to overflow, you need to fix the blockage. What does low carb diet do? Low carb basically stops the spout. So there is no water flow coming. Is that the solution? Yes, temporarily you will see, oh, water stopped flowing out of the sink. But that is purely because you have just stopped it. There is no water coming in. Ideally, the resistance was happening here. So if you fix this blockage, that means when you take that fat out from your cell, that's when that glucose can easily enter in the cell. And then you can actually call it a successful remission of type 2 diabetes. How does that sound? Have you ever thought of this before? Or have you ever looked at your sink and thought of insulin resistance? Yes, the solution is to remove that fat from that cell, right? So how do we do that? Simple. Opposite of insulin resistance is insulin sensitivity. That means I want my cells to become more sensitive to the hormone insulin. Insulin is not bad. It is just the mechanism. My body was not ready to absorb all that glucose, right? So now I want to change it and make it more sensitive. There are a lot of research works that has happened and which showed a plant-based diet or even vegetarian diet here has good effect and impact on prevention and treatment of type 2 diabetes. Guess what? I have been working with vegetarians for a long time now. It's almost 10 years now. And I still see people with the same conditions. Why so? In fact, I'm the perfect example. I always thought that my diet is so good. I'm a vegetarian. How did I get into this condition? So, I know the results. The reasons for that was, what was the quality of my diet? How well those plants were diversified or not? Was I just eating one kind of food all the time? How was my gut microbiome health? There are so many answers to that, really, right? So we are going to understand now in the pillar format, what are those 3 pillars to the blood sugar blueprint? Okay. Number 1 is optimizing your nutrition. Yes, of course, nutrition has that power, and that is how you will actually reverse this. Number 2, strategic movement. Okay, not just movement, strategic movement, and we will discuss on that. We are going to discover how how to incorporate that effective exercises, so that will enhance your metabolism and improve that insulin sensitivity. And pillar number 3, we are going to talk about how that stress has impact on your blood sugar directly, and how we can help ourselves. How can we reduce that stress from our life, or at least manage it? Cool. Question. Now, I want you to say, right, true or false. A low carb diet is the most effective to lose weight. Thank you, Dashna. False, 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 false. Wow, we have such a smart audience present in the room. Partially true. Okay. Yes. It's a tricky question. Yes, I know it is. Okay. Whoever thought that it is false, yes, you're right. Whoever thought that it is partially true, or there is something, it's a tricky question. So I will explain how that is, how low carb diet actually can harm you, and how you can actually enjoy those carbs. Okay. So of course, number 1 is, you really have to focus on whole foods. Okay. I want you to, okay, I'm going to actually walk you through one exercise just shortly, but I really want you to imagine, not just write down right now, but imagine and think of all the foods that you ate in the last week. Okay. Your breakfast, how do they look like? Lunches, dinners, snacks. Do we have, full control on choosing the right foods all the time? Or sometimes we just cook it because we are in rush. We just, the pantry is already over. So whatever it is just remaining, we are just trying to make something out of it, which makes us, miss many nutrients, micronutrients, minerals, fiber. So focusing on whole foods is one of the most important key, as well as limiting the processed foods. Now, when I say limiting processed foods, there is a little caveat to this. Okay, what do you think frozen vegetables are processed or not processed? And what do you think a bread is processed or not processed? Again, some questions. Okay. Processed. Yes. What about frozen veggies? Frozen veggies are not processed. Okay. So yeah, so that means there is a new term that is ultra processed. So we should actually think about what is ultra processed and what is processed. So things that have gone through a complete makeover from their original form. Okay. That is called ultra processed. And we want to minimize that, something that is made in factory, but with lots of additives and preservatives. We want to minimize that consumption. Breads, of course, you can still eat breads, but then you have to see, are they whole grain? What is the ingredients? Is it just wheat flour, like just the bleached flour, but it is written as a wheat flour? Does that make it more whole food? No, it doesn't. Guess what, Sagar? Frozen veggies are not completely dead food. In fact, the vitamin B and C, okay, this is the only thing that you lose when you do the blanching process. And actually, it preserves most of the nutrients. And that's why it is preferred, and it is not bad, versus when you actually, just eat your regular, like you buy your regular produce. Yes, it is going to have some, perishable element to that. So let's do a little quick fiber check, okay? If you have a pen and paper, or just, this is the time you can actually use your phone. Can you write down what I'm asking you to? So think about what you ate yesterday, and and you are going to write as I say. Next to each food, you are going to write the fiber score. So as I said, I want you to walk away with some actionable steps. What best way to do that, right? Other than this. So are you all ready with your pen and paper?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So write down 7 points for yourself. If you yesterday, okay, we are just talking about just one day, Friday, everyone's Friday. Try to remember because I'm sure utna yaad rehta hai, right? Just one day. So give yourself 7 points if you ate at least half cup of any kind of beans or lentils. Okay. Give yourself 3 points per fruit. So when I say fruit, whole entire fruit, okay? So 1 apple, 3 points. If you also added some strawberries, say 1 cup strawberries, give yourself another 3 points. Can you do that? And we are going to add it, okay, towards the end. And then you're going to write your score in the chat box. Give yourself 8 points for whole grains. You can also add some bajra, jawar, millets. You can give more points, 6 to 8 points for that. 4 points for oatmeal. 3 points for any whole grains. 2 points for whole wheat, or which is little bit processed, but then it is still whole wheat. For example, whole wheat pasta. And 1 point for processed grain. Be very honest to yourself. This exercise will help you a lot. Now give yourself 3 points per cup of vegetables. Okay. If it is cucumber or lettuce, please just give 1 point. But if you have like nice leafy veggies, different bell pepper and cruciferous vegetables, give yourself 3 points per cup. Yes. Yeah, it is a whole grain. Okay. Next one is any kind of seeds or avocado or nuts. 2 points per ounce. So if you have eaten, say, like spoons wise, if I say like 3 tablespoons of nuts in the whole day, or maybe, around half ounce, or sorry, it is easily 1 ounce actually. You can give yourself 2 points or more. Done? Can you add that and start writing in the chat box? "21, 16, 17, 18. Aditi, 16, nice. Okay, I see 16, very common. Okay. Okay, who got 40 already? Okay, Dipesha. Beautiful. Tulo, 26, 22, 13. Nice. Now let's see what. Okay, one more question before I move on to the next slide. Do you know what is recommended fiber intake for us? Just FDA. 21, 23, good job. 25 points. Okay. Okay, let's see. So if you are less than 20, you definitely need more work on that. Okay. Because this is a sign that your appetite may be hard to control and you may have, other gut issues. So it's time to bump up that fiber intake. Okay. If you are falling under 20 to 39, you're doing pretty good, better than most of the people actually. Not just Western countries, even our country. So more fiber will definitely help you cut through those extra empty calories and give you actually more nourishment and feel you satisfied. 40 or more is killer. If you have been, hitting that number, your gut microbiome is so diverse. And that is like you have beautiful army inside your body, which is skilled. It is a skilled army, not just, you're just for the number's sake, you're just building that army. No, they have good skills and they will help you in different conditions, different situations when you need them. You do not need all kind of armies, soldiers every single time. Make sense? So if you got close to 40, you are doing good. Try to keep yourself around 30 to 40. Okay. Of course, there are many benefits of heavy plant-based diet or even low-fat vegetarian diets. What I mean by that is, let's understand the basic difference between plant-based and vegetarian is the dairy. That is the only thing. But if we can actually, and again, I'm not going to go into, the ethical or moral values. We all have our own, how do I say, our own principles and values set. And I respect everyone's values. Okay. My point is, low fat dairy will not harm that much compared to high fat, because we already understood how we have to take care of our fat, our dietary intake coming from the fat. Cool. So heart health research has shown that it reduces heart risk by up to 32%. Okay. The phytochemicals in the plants, that's why I love to have the rainbow or different variety of plants in our diet. Do not just stick to just cucumber and tomato every single day. Have a nice variety, and try to see, okay, can I add purple cabbage this week? Can I add different color bell pepper? And so on and so forth. Okay. The basically short chain fatty acids that come after the good, when one's fiber has created those, that is the key that helps us lower down the cholesterol levels and the sugar in the system. So good fiber is a key to that healthy gut microbiome, and also reverse your insulin resistance, because that is how it is going to attach to that cholesterol and help it reduce. Okay. This is a simple pyramid. We want to have lots and lots of vegetables in the bottom as a base. Of course, fruit, legumes. When I say legumes, of course, there is, different kind of beans, dals, also some tofu, some soy products, low-fat dairy, all comes under this. Whole grain, and then, of course, at the top, this just shows the kind of quantity you can change or you should change. Okay. Another visual representation just to for people, especially who are on high metformin or dosage for controlling their type 2. This is the key. If you can just whenever you are eating, if you can visualize your plate into this kind of form, and then have 1/4 as legumes, vegetables. Again, there is a little caveat: starchy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables. What kind of fruits, more fibrous, of course, what kind of grains. And Mastering Diabetes has done a nice, green light, yellow light system, where yellow light is mainly we can have moderate consumption of these foods. And I'm happy to share all of this, whoever wants it at the end, and you can use these references. Cool. So you understand, it is not about just eating less food, it is about eating right food. Cool. I'll just share one quick example, because this is important, when I work with people and when they come to me with, I want help in completely reversing my sugar or, cholesterol levels. It can be done without giving up your carbs, without giving up your favorite foods, because if you have tried something and it has not worked, then just understand and ask yourself questions. What kind of approach was that? Was it too restrictive? Because restrict diets work. They do work. They just don't sustain. So we want an approach which can actually help us and reverse that condition, not just temporarily use as a band-aid. Okay. We could come from 149 LDL to 44, all in just 16 weeks. The triglycerides down from 267 to 172, and all we have to do is simple lifestyle changes. We already talked about nutrition, how it impacts, and we will also talk about the other pillars shortly. What are other variables or other factors that actually affect your blood sugar levels? I'm sure this is something new, or if already you know it, then it's great. Like, it shows that you're very well educated and you understand, you're reading about it. Vitamin D is very important. It plays a huge role in your blood sugar levels, because your pancreas has these receptors, okay, D receptors, and which helps regulate that insulin production. So when you have low vitamin D, it impairs that metabolism and that insulin function, so leading to constantly high blood sugar levels. So sometimes you feel like, I'm doing every single thing right. Might be you have to look at your vitamin D levels, because vitamin D is also an anti-inflammatory nutrient. So sometimes you have constant high inflammation in the body. This can help. Muscle health, when your muscles need vitamin D to efficiently absorb that glucose. So low levels means that glucose metabolism is poor, and then again high blood sugar spikes. Another important factor is magnesium deficiency, because these cells, this helps in your cell absorption of your glucose levels. So this directly impacts on your insulin resistance. How do you add that? Lots of leafy veggies, legumes, nuts. So take care of these two vitamins, and we are going to jump into our second pillar. How's it going so far? Are you having fun?
Very good.
Are you learning something new?
Yes.
Awesome. Again, the second pillar, which is the most important, and I'm going to do something. I have some experiment, okay? And I've prepared myself for this, because sometimes I feel showing a certain information in a way where you understand the mechanism is better than just reading words. So of course, regular activity, listening to your body, recovery, strength training, all of these things are important, right? But let me show you some fun fact. Do you know how much energy we burn at rest? That means your BMR. 70%. So you are doing nothing and you're burning calories. You're burning energy. At 70% of your total energy intake is just going into burning calories. The next is 15% is what energy you burn throughout the day with some kind of movement. That is, like, for example, I'm just fidgeting, right? Like, I'm moving my hands, you're doing your chores, vacuum cleaning, dishwashing, loading, walking, bending, every single thing. That accounts for 15%. Energy you burn by digesting that food. So of course, so food is giving us energy, but our body is also using energy to break it down into sugar, correct? That banana is not gonna directly give me the energy. My body has to take some efforts in breaking it down into simple sugar. Every single food that we eat, it is becoming a sugar. Let's understand this. Okay, it's not just the sugar जो चाय में जा रहा है. Every single food is eventually breaking down into the sugar. Cool? Wow, only last 5% energy you burn is through your workouts. Okay, Sujal has told me you do not have to work out that much because it is just 5%. Okay, reshare. Okay, before that, let me just show you something interesting. Okay, I have this paper towel, kitchen paper towel. Okay, I have a toilet paper roll. Oh my God. Okay, let me just go closer to the screen. Okay, here. Now, I know we have a very smart audience in the room. If I spill water or some coffee, what do you think? What will help me the most? I know, such a great question, right? Sure, Katie, once I start sharing again, I'll definitely do that. Paper towel, okay. Okay, tell me more. Why do you think it is paper towel? Apuruji, is it okay to just, let everyone unmute and, just talk, or?
It's gonna be hard.
Hard? Okay. Can you please type paper towel? Okay, not the toilet paper roll. Why? I'm interested in why. Think about it. It's thicker, yes, more firm texture, perfect. And right now, okay, you just understood, but also look at the size, okay? So yes, it has more absorption power. Think of this, the same example for your blood glucose absorption. That paper towel is acting as a muscle. It is a muscle. Sorry, muscle is acting as a paper towel. Okay. So the more muscle mass you have in your body will be able to absorb that glucose more. Make sense? Let me reshare the screen again. Okay, I hope we are following the time, and I'm not gonna.
2 more minutes, that would be the max.
2 more minutes. Okay, guys, I'm gonna run now. Okay, let me run. So we did this, we did this. Yes, so what all activities? Of course, there are different aerobic, anaerobic, that is resistance training, because muscle is that organ which has the capacity and power to absorb that blood sugar levels. Cool? And my another question to you. It is harder to complete protein requirements on a vegetarian or plant-based diet. What do you think? Please write down in the chat box. False, 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 true. Okay. We have someone saying true. False. Okay. We have absolutely enough plant proteins and vegetarian proteins available to complete our day-to-day protein requirement. Okay. When I was powerlifting, so powerlifting is a sport where you have to lift maximum weight in those many attempts, and then there is a weight category and all. Okay. This is the screenshot my very dear friend sent me. And of course, he was having fun, but he casually said, and it was not just him, many people have told me to, hey, if you start eating eggs, you might just have more muscles. Mind it was not an easy lift, it was 130 kg lift. And I'm like, okay, let me just, show them, and let me just show them through my work if I can actually add lots of muscles and produce a lot of force and power as well. Having more muscles is one thing, but also producing force from that muscle is another thing. So you can see I've always been like 100% vegetarian, and lately there's less dairy in my diet and more plant-based proteins. And this was when, I had state records for squats and deadlift in my division. Okay. And you can see we definitely need more good protein if you are an athlete or if you are engaged in higher or challenging workouts. Your protein requirement is going to be way more. It hurts me when I hear constantly that protein diet, and I'm sure like we are in the same world, right? Pretty much same algorithm and same information is constantly bombarding us. Is it really needed? And if it is needed, then can we just complete it through our sources? 100% yes. I can absolutely provide this resource at the end. Okay. You can absolutely go and see what are the sources, how can I combine them, or how can I have variety in them, because otherwise you'll just get bored. When I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic at 32, and I started working with someone, and that person put me on 1100 calories keto diet. So I hated paneer by the 28th day, okay? And it's not feasible, right? You cannot do that. So you can absolutely, go and check it. Of course, many things matter, if you are trying to lose your blood sugar level, but also trying to lose weight, then of course that once just the protein will not matter, but also the calories will also come into picture. Okay. So that's why when its fiber is that complementary, friend to that protein when you're trying to achieve both. Okay. These are just some examples, and I'm showing this to simply inspire you and show you what is possible. It is completely possible to lose fat without constantly being on treadmills. It is completely possible to reverse your type 2 diabetes, reverse your insulin resistance. This is that example. Saurabh and Charishma, I worked with them, and beautiful, they were like couple goals, they really pushed each other. With Charishma, I also helped her with her gestational diabetes, and we could stay away from having to inject insulin until the very last trimester. She had to take it 2 weeks, but she was asked to start taking it from the first trimester. So think about it, how much power nutrition, lifestyle changes has. I have to cover the most important part because otherwise we cannot complete this. What is the best drug available, like free drug available to improve your health and fitness, or most diseases. Just write down. Fasting, okay. Water and fresh air, okay. Think about it. This is another tricky question, but very important question. Happiness, laughter. Think little deeper. I have already talked about it in the pillars. In the pillars, if you remember, if you paid attention to the yes, and it is sleep. Atishay, what was his name? Is it Atishay? Kudos to you, Atishay. You said it. The sleep. It is recovery. That had such a power to heal you. Okay. So yes, manage your stress and improving sleep quality is that number 3 pillar. Okay. And one more question. What do you do when you feel stressed? Like, think about it. What are those easy things? You might be, you might be thinking that I'm on autopilot. Like there's something just happened whenever I feel stressed, whenever I feel some anxiety. Okay, you go for a walk, beautiful. Meditation. Okay. Eat. I bite nails. Yes. You play with kids, beautiful. Sometimes we get more stressed when you play with the kids. And they start fighting with each other, of course. Music, painting. Okay. Talk to Apurva, very nice. You are like stress. You give them some meditation session over.
Yes.
Time in nature. Beautiful. So it is so easy when we feel stressed to engage into activities which do not serve us. Okay. Something like emotional eating, stress eating. I did that when I left my career. I'm an architect, by the way, I forgot to mention that. And when I left that and came here, I'm sure many women like me, or many people who just leave every single thing and come to different country to explore, or I mean there are different levels of stress, but I'm just talking about myself. And you don't even realize that, wow, you have started emotional eating. So cortisol is that stress hormone, which is directly linked to your insulin resistance. That means when cortisol levels are elevated, your body just becomes less responsive. So despite of eating good fiber, good protein, taking care of that whole food plate, my power plate, I'm still not losing weight, and I'm still not losing my belly fat, and still my HbA1c is still high. Then this is the factor that you should pay attention to. Okay. Cortisol and melatonin. Why not sleeping on time? Or I've seen people when they have chronic like high stress levels, how their sleep also affects. But if you start taking care of, like, this is a circadian rhythm, right? Like, this is sun rising, 12 o'clock. You see this red line and blue line. So this is melatonin. Melatonin is a sleep hormone, right? And then it peaks in the night, of course, because you want to sleep and rest. And this cortisol levels, which reduces throughout the night, towards the night, and then again starts going up because you want to work. So stress hormone is not bad. It is important for us to function day to day. But keep making sure that that hormone is only working, or acting, or in its peak condition when it is supposed to. Otherwise, if you're chronically stressed, will you be able to fall asleep? No, because your melatonin cycle is disturbed, because they are directly connecting with each other. Unless your cortisol comes down, your melatonin will not kick in the body. Okay? So, yeah, one of the way we can try some kind of pranayams. Anulom Vilom. I personally love to have box breathing. See, any kind of, someone mentioned, right? Like your heart starts, palpitation are like faster, like it beats faster. So you want to slow down. So when I say slow down, it doesn't mean deep breathing. Okay, that is another myth, and that is that actually all of these individual topics can go on individual workshops, because there is so much to understand and deep dive. But whenever stress is high, basically you want to exhale more. So box breathing, 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, 4 seconds hold. You can start here. You can try Anulom Vilom. Again, it helps you calm down. Cool. Basically moving from sympathetic to parasympathetic system. Cool. So we are almost towards the end. Puruji, I'm not taking more time. We just talked about Saurabh and Charishma. We also talked about Shailesh. That is Shweta Jain. Again, she did beautiful. We work all the strategies that you can actually implement by making sure that you have a good balanced nutrition plate, not every day, but 80% of the time, 80 to 90% of the time. Okay. You do not have to train 7 days a week. Please, that will just add more stress on your body. So you have to really have a better dosage, better, like a balanced dose of training. When I showed you the workouts or my powerlifting, of course they had more stress than usual because that sport is going to add so much stress on my joints. So I have to be extra cautious and take care of my recovery, my sleep, my recovery. So every single thing is, nothing happens in vacuum. Something is taking place. There are other things which should be complementing or supplementing it. Okay. So what did we learn? Just a quick summary. We learned how insulin resistance is impacted by stress, sleep, and of course, key nutrients. Low-fat vegetarian diet or low-fat whole food plant-based diet can help tremendously improve your insulin resistance. Do not have to cut carbs. Absolutely eating the right carbs the right way helps balance blood sugar. Extreme diets are absolutely not necessary because, again, this is a topic that can take another like 40-50 minutes easily because metabolism is not that easy. Cannot just explain in one like on its own. Like there are multiple factors that come into picture. But managing stress, improving sleep, and getting those nutrients can make your fat loss journey easier. Okay, so you can control of your health without starving or without giving up your favorite foods. Now, everyone is unique, right? Everyone's goals are different. Everyone's starting point is different. Their challenges are different. And that is the reason, their journey will also look different. The principles can remain same, but if I have to reach to New York now, you person from Canada will take different route and different timeline versus someone coming from Florida. Make sense? Versus someone coming from India. So this journey is going to look different. And because this is my community and I'm so actually super excited and very happy. And I was just thinking, what should I offer them? What kind of gift shall I offer them for showing up live? Like we have 69 people right now. I think we had also 75 at some point. Like so many people registered. And I want to make this something like worthwhile. So I have created a metabolic assessment. That means you just write down your questions, like just fill out, okay, this is what I'm facing problem, because there are so many aspects, right? I will personally record a video giving you the feedback. Hey, I think this is what is missing and you can work on these conditions. This is the solution based on my understanding, okay? You can scan that code, fill that application. You will also get my free guide, 4 steps to fat loss and perfect blood sugar into your email, okay? Once you scan this code, that will direct you there. Cool. I think we are good.
Thank you, Sujal. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we are on time, pretty much on time. Yep.
Yes, you did it. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sujal. Appreciate all your help and support today. One thing I do take away is pay attention to the diet and that pie chart around 4 things you need to have on your plate. That was beautiful. And first time ever in Jainism history that people have told us what kind of food we can have, which will relate to Jains and which will relate to vegetarian food. Because we go to dietitians or nutritionists, they cannot provide us information on what to eat because of our dietary restrictions. So really, this was a game changer, in my opinion. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
I recommend folks who have joined to take advantage of the complimentary opportunity she has given us, because I know one thing: her diary is free, is like completely booked. I booked her in 1.5 months ago for this event, so you could imagine. So thank you so much, Sujal. I'll pass it on to Manan and after Manar Uncle for their quick feedback. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Niranjan Bhai if you're still here. Niranjan Bhai, we wanted to acknowledge you and give you 2 minutes as well. But first, let's pass it on to Manan. Manan, any feedback or words for Sujal?
Yeah, no, thank you again, Sujal, for the wonderful and informative session. I think everyone who stayed the entire length of the call has a lot to take away and a lot of new things to think about. And I just want to sort of make a plug for YJP. Our mission and goal is to bring you all sessions like this free of cost, or at as low of a cost as possible. It's not possible for us to do that without some overhead costs to ourselves. So if you enjoyed this session, please do consider supporting us, making a donation. Any amount, no matter how small, goes a long way in helping us. So I'm just going to put the donation link below. It would take you to our parent organization, Jaina's webpage. And just make sure your donation is earmarked to go to YJP. And thank you again.
Thank you so much once again. And I would really appreciate your feedback. Whatever you feel, just write in the chat, and I'll head this over to you.
The event is still on. We're going to do Q&A with you, Sujo.
Okay.
I want to give Niranjan Bhai and Ramila Kamdar a couple of minutes to talk about their company. And I did see some questions around protein and intake around protein. So Niranjan Bhai, over to you. Ashwita, if you can help him to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, Jai Jinendra, and thank you very much for the opportunity to virtually meet you and do the present. Just give you a brief background on the product that we have launched on Amazon, as well as a slight background on terms of the people who are behind the product. The product that we have launched is called Empower, and as the name suggests, its amp is to amplify or amp up. So it helps you to amplify both your physical and mental strength. The product has, unlike other protein powder, this product has protein, but in addition to that, it has creatine, glutamine, probiotic, and digestive enzymes. And together, all of those things together actually help you not only with the physical health, but it also helps you with a brain, immune system, as well as the gut health. So we are trying to provide more complete product that helps in terms of what you can do with it. Just like I saw some of the questions on a protein. So the amount of protein need depends upon multiple factors. It's not one solution for everybody. Everybody, depending upon your health and depending upon other factors, what food you're going to need to intake varies. Incidentally, so for example, it depends upon your body weight. It depends upon the amount of exercise and routine that you are doing as to how much daily protein requirements you'll have. So 150-pound person, and if he's exercising and in sports and stuff like that, he may need 100 gram or more of the protein, where somebody else may need less. So you may need anywhere from 50 to 60 gram of protein to 200 gram of protein, depending upon your body weight, depending upon your how athletic you are, etc. And just to give you a background in terms of our family, we are. This is our family. My wife, my son. We always had a passion for sports and active, healthy lifestyle and nutrition. So my wife, she got masters in nutrition from New York Medical College. She was one of the top students, and she was a chief clinical dietitian. She also played tennis on a town team. My son plays on a USTA, and actually is coaching a girl who is in the junior ranked tennis player in the world. I played field hockey for Ruya College in Matunga. If anybody's from India or from Matunga, they might know. And I was the first Guju to have ever been selected to play field hockey because the coach never thought that Gujus played any sports. So this is a long time ago, before the time that you guys were born. So this is the product that we have developed is a culmination of our knowledge of food, because I worked at Kraft Foods, and before owning this company, I also founded a company called Summitry Worldwide, where we were doing using advanced analytics and like Bose-Einstein equation of entropy and things like that, plus the creativity. I worked for a lot of different food companies, as well as Clairol, Revlon, etc. And I was the finalist for the Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Southern New York, Connecticut area. So if you guys are thinking about being an entrepreneur or want to launch a new product or want to throw out an idea, again, you can contact me and I can help you with that, because I have founded two companies, and and also I advise a lot of CEOs and CMOs of large companies like Ford, Levi's, Clairol, Revlon, Kraft Foods, etc. So now with this product, if you go and buy on Amazon, so right now the list price is $49, but there's already 10% discount, so it's $45. If you subscribe and save, you'll again save another 10%, so it'll be $40. But if you buy right through this, that if you buy it, we'll send you a $10 rebate on top of all that stuff. So $50 product would be equal to $30 for you. And all you have to do, Apurva, I think has already posted my email. So all you have to do is just put the purchase, proof of purchase, and give us a review, because we definitely need the review as a new product. That's the main thing. So give us a review, and we'll Zelle $10 rebate to you. So you'll get it for $30. In addition to that, I did not mention to Apurva, but listening to you guys, this is what I'm going to do. For every purchase of the product that comes from the YJP, we'll donate $5 to YJP, that you can use it for sports or any other thing that you want to. So this is just in addition to that. So make sure that when you send the email with the proof of purchase and review, make sure to identify YJP, so we know that what are the purchases made to the YJP. This could be a member of YJP or a friend. Doesn't matter. But as long as they buy the product and give us a review, in addition to $10, we're just going to contribute $5. So from what Apurva told me, you got a 5,000 YJP members, and so if all of them buy it, I think you guys gonna have your budget full with just the contribution we'll make. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate. And last but not least, I'm really, really proud of you guys, because I came to this country long time ago, like I said, long before you were born, and thinking of being not only Jain, but being an Indian, it was very difficult. Like there was hardly any Indian grocery store anywhere. So looking at that time versus what I look now and the kind of things you are doing, it's absolutely amazing. And I really like what leadership Purva and Manan and they are providing. But in addition to that, you're really integrating mind, body, spirit, like Patanjali would want. And this is the right balance. And And I cannot tell you how proud we are of your generation. Thank you very much.
Thank
This is
you, Nirubai and Ramila Ben. Thank you. You are from USA and you chose to come on a virtual event. You didn't know what to expect, but I hope we lived up to our expectations.
Yeah, actually, just one more thing, because I think Sujal did a great job in terms of giving you foundation. And one of the things, just like I'd like to add is, we all want to live long, but none of us want to get old. Like we say, on every birthday we say, "Jivo hajar ho saal." But so it is a conundrum how to live long but not to get old, and to keep your mind, body, and spirit young. You cannot start doing that when you are 70 years old, but what you do when you are 20, 30, and 40 is going to make you what you're going to be when you are 60, 70, 80. And if you want to be one or two not out, you better start working on your mind, body, and spirit now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll take one more minute with Manar Uncle. Manar Uncle, if you can unmute and provide your kind blessings and feedback. And then we are going to walk into the Q&A and end the session in 10 minutes. Manar Uncle?
Thank
also
you
take
very
a
much,
picture.
Apurva. I wanted to congratulate all of you, JCS and YJP, to join this seminar. It is a great effort to have this, and I want to thank Sujal Sancheti for coming down and helping us educate and let us know. It is a great honor, and we thank you for that. To sum up the whole seminar of today, I would like to say few things, and it may help. So this is the talk. Probably many people of you must have read it or heard it, but I would like to conclude these things. Our body is made up of soul and the body. Again, the soul is made up of karma and the pure soul. And so, but our body cannot function. We have got many, many organs. And one of the organ is heart. Hriday, as they call it in Hindi or Gujarati. So one day the heart is telling the body, and he considers body as a boss. If the boss is not there, the life is finished. So you need a boss in your life, and the heart is telling, wow, amazing, for the first time. Translation: beautiful thoughts of transformation, let us walk together. This morning I received a call from my heart. I said, boss, I run for you 24 hours a day without stopping. But you don't even walk for me for an hour. How long will this go on? If I stop, you are gone. And if you stop, I am gone. Why don't we walk together, and stay together? For life, boss, there is still time. For tomorrow, just walk for me for an hour. I promise to keep running 24 hours a day without any obstacle. Your own heart says, remember to exercise regularly. Let us walk. Always remember, my health is my own responsibility. So this is the conversation the heart is having with the body, that what is most important, as Sujal said about the diet and stress and all those things. But the most important thing is that we want to run our body and heart is very important, which cannot function unless you walk. So take a note today home that you must walk at least 5,000 steps a day, and that is going to make your food to digest. Thank you. Jai Janendra.
Thank you. Jai Jinendra Uncle. What a way to end this with a beautiful note. The heart and the body talking to each other. Amazing. Thank you.
Well, we tried. We tried.
Appreciate.
Thank you.
Yes. And again, special thanks to Nikita, my partner through JCS. Appreciate. So let's get this going. Sujal, Q&A. We're going to go one at a time. There are a lot of questions. Do you have access to the chat box, Sujal? Do you see the questions?
I
Yeah. Do
have.
you
Before
want me to
that,
read it or you're easier for you to do it?
no, I can do that. But before that, I had a request. If anyone can switch on their cameras and I can see their beautiful faces, we can take a nice picture.
Yes, I agree. Let's do that.
On the count of 5, 4, 3. Come on, Azmi, how fast are you to your screen? Or are you in a kitchen cooking and then the session is going on in the bedroom?
Yeah, that would work too, actually.
Yeah, you at least heard it. Come on, we have entire, oh my God, like I have 3 screens and the last one is absolutely no camera. Come on. Okay, let's take a picture. Okay. Smile. Okay, I'm going. Manan, can you take, because I'm not able to fit, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
More people on my screen. Can you take a picture?
Everyone smile.
Thank you.
I think today our body and heart are smiling.
Yes.
Thank
And when
you,
you
Sujal.
train, and when you work out, then it is crying. But it's good tears.
Good tears.
All right, we'll go one by one. I think the first one was about the supplement time and all. Guess what? I have a beautiful guide, and I can actually send it over. First of all, I was also thinking, should we create, just like we have this YJP, should we create a WhatsApp community, where I can put in some informations whenever I'm creating these guides, in that community. So it can be just WhatsApp so that we do not have to go for any other app. What do you guys think? Just say yes, no. If it is not, no one is interested, absolutely that's fine. But if you think that would be helpful, whenever I'm creating these resources, I know emails, but sometimes you just don't want to open
Yes.
emails, right?
I will share
But
that link for you, Sujal.
awesome. So I can create a community and then, people can jump in. Second thing is, someone asked if you want to soak, so your opinion on soaked versus unsoaked nuts. Just take it. Okay, that is my simple answer. Number one thing is, yes, you might reduce your phytic acids from, after soaking it. But if you forgot to soak it, then you'll just forget to eat it. So that is my stand, Again, it really depends on individuals' gut microbiomes and its capacity. So if it helps you, soaking, of course, it's going to improve the digestion, but to not a huge extent, okay? Second was, while working out a lot and not consuming any protein supplements, I sometimes get tired of eating too much to try and keep up with the energy and protein I need. Did you face a similar issue while weightlifting? Okay, that's a beautiful question. Understand. So you do not want to just suddenly start eating unless that is your goal. Like the goal is basically, are you trying to still lose weight and just add muscles? That is one scenario. Second scenario is you just want to build muscles and also add some weight. Okay. So in the first scenario, there was a body recomposition happening. So you still want to just lose some body fat and then just add some that definition and build muscles and power. In both cases, of course, building muscles will need some extra calories than what you are eating every single day, correct? Now, how do you decide? First, you have to find your maintenance calories. How much are you maintaining your weight at? So don't randomly start consuming a lot of protein, because your body will not be able to digest it, and then you will just have constipation and you'll hate it. Okay. Also, your body will not just build muscles overnight. It takes time, guys. You need to be very patient with the process. So a good structure with right sets and repetitions, and how you're progressively overloading, all of these things are going to matter. What is your, as I said, there's multiple factors, but what is your age? Are you beginner lifter or are you advanced lifter? So that protein requirement will also change based on that. So I would start, if you think that you get tired of eating more food, I would start with some liquid calories as well. You can start with some smoothies and slowly take it from there. Do not make that eating as a chore. Okay. And if you are constantly feeling tired, that means you are either overtraining or you are not well recovered. So of course, there are two aspects. Maybe that recovery can happen from lack of sleep, lots of stress, or lack of enough nutrition, right? So yes, there are multiple factors. I would suggest just do some audit. If you have done that metabolic audit form the QR code, I would love to understand, see your other life area parameters, and then definitely customize that video and then send it over. If you want me to, put it again, let me know. The next question was, okay, how is there a way to measure your insulin sensitivity? Okay, how do we do that? So first of all, there are symptoms that we check. Just in few weeks you are going to start seeing difference in your symptoms, like the energy fog or that brain fog is reducing, you're feeling more energetic. If you're looking to improve that A1C number, of course you should do that test once in 3 months, so it will not immediately reflect. But if you are wearing the CGM, or you're pricking your fingertips every single morning or post meal, that is the first immediate tool that we can use to identify if your resistance is changed. Now, very important point. If you have been eating low carb diet for a long time, okay, that means if you have reduced or taken out rice, or really on a low carb, like measuring it, whenever you shift to eating more carbs, basically, even if it is whole foods, right? But they are still more carbs. Your body's tolerance or carb tolerance is reduced because of low carb diet. So it's called a transition period. That transition period, you might see some spikes again in your blood sugar levels, which are fine. Do not panic. So you'll have to, like I follow a system, when I work with clients, like I give them, I first understand what is their current lifestyle look like. And then when we are adding some food, what is the trend? So is your body lacking in producing more insulin, or is your body lacking in absorbing that insulin from the body? There are two different things. So of course, go like step by step. If you are making some changes, I would highly encourage, as Uncle was saying, like, of course, walking. If you are at 5,000 steps, try adding 2,000. So just make another 2,000 steps. If you're just on, eating just one fruit and there are not enough fiber or even legumes, then try adding one serving each. Then second week, make the next change. Do not keep it all in one go, okay? Because you will not understand how your body is responding. And then, of course, take body feedback, biofeedback. What was it? Yeah, I know we have a big community. This is different. I'm talking about specifically Nutrifitworld community, where I will be, making some live videos, or, showing, answering your questions. What is your take? I already talked about nutrition supplements, right? I see most of friends taking supplements daily. Okay, what is supplements? Supplements are not bad. But what is supplement? It is supplementing your main food. So if you are not eating good whole foods like main diet, and then still just thinking that because I'm taking supplements every day, my health and whatever my goals will just fixed. No, that won't happen. So if I am taking vitamin D supplement, just for an example, I'm still making sure that in the morning I'm going out in the sun, because that will also help set my circadian rhythm, correct? So it really depends on what kind of supplements are you really looking after? For example, one a day, for example, like multivitamin. Of course, it is good. Omega-3, omega-6. Yes, we are missing that as vegetarians and plant-based eaters. B12. These are all good supplements that you should eat. But other than that, like if you really keep on like greens, for example, like greens, right? You have these powders and juices. It is good. It is just gonna add, good fiber intake, but you should still eat good whole veggies and fruits from your main diet. How heavy or light should be the main meals? Skip breakfast. I have a heavy lunch and light dinner. This is very, very personal. Okay. I do not think that one has to eat heavy breakfast or one has to skip it. In my experience, recently, in fact, someone I started working with, and she had been struggling with weight loss. So again, depends on weight loss struggles, but she's been struggling a lot. And then when we did little auditing, we found out that she has been skipping breakfast for years, thinking that IF intermittent fasting is working for her. And then when we found out, she was eating around in fact, I made a story as well, 757 or 800 calories a day. Now, think about it. Is that intermittent fasting really going to work for her? No, there is not enough. So it's called metabolic adaptation. Your body is going to literally like, hey, stop. I cannot survive on this much food. So let me do this. Let me start conserving energy for my future. Your brain do not give anything, like don't give a damn about whether I want to lose weight or not. It only cares for survival. Only survival. That's the reason South Asians have, what is it called? They have this, I'm not finding the English word for that. Like they tend to store visceral fat all the time compared to other ethnic groups because of years of famines, malnutrition. We have been attacked multiple times for even like to survive. So our genes have adopted and have learned to store fat versus using it as energy. On top of that, we are in IT industry, most of us, or desk job. We are just making it worse. We have less lean body mass, LBM. So what are we doing? We are just doing disservice, right? Because body naturally knows how to preserve fat, and then we are taking that organ away from it, which can actually eat more food or absorb more glucose. So yes, I hope that I answered your question. Early morning, basically vitamin D, good if you pair it with K2, and should be eaten with any fatty food. It's a fat soluble vitamin, so you should eat it with some fats. Maybe nuts, morning nuts. You can just have it with that. Low carb diet at night. How should we take a low carb diet at night? Should we avoid fruits or yogurt at night? Okay, low carb diet at night. What do you mean? Why? First of all, why low carb diet? We have to understand, when we think that this is the solution to what? Like, what is your challenge? So some people, let me reframe my answer because I know this will help you understand more. You know what? Rice. Okay, let's take that example. Rice is a carbohydrate, right? Rice has this element called tryptophan. Okay, and when you eat rice, of course, that tryptophan triggers the melatonin. Sorry, the serotonin and then melatonin. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna sleep well if I eat rice at night. I mean, the nutrition has so much power. We just do not know what to eat at what time. Now, rice acts as even if it is a complex carb, it acts as a fast carb. Like it is faster to digest, but provided if you're like managing or maintaining the quantity. So it all boils down to, like how much do your individuals need? So can we just generalize it and just say, hey, nobody should breakfast? No. Someone really perform best if they are training in the morning, they would definitely need to fuel their body for that workout. Evening, yes, I definitely recommend, like we do not have to eat after sunset or, like that, those principles that our Jain religion has taught us, they are beautiful. If you just follow that, naturally, you're always intermittent fasting. But with the name of, or going for these fad diets, just understand the concept. And in the whole day, what are my body's requirements? And then do not run behind those numbers. Like, oh, I have to eat so much protein, or so many carbs, without addressing the basic behavior. Okay, do I binge eat at night because I have skipped my breakfast, or I have skipped that lunch, or lunch was not that strong enough? Then of course I'm going to have my blood sugar spikes, correct? So each and every element in the whole day will matter a lot for making such decisions. So you can absolutely eat. In fact, there's a strategy called carb loading. You can absolutely load your carbs at night, and then train in the morning, empty stomach. Most welcome.
I have a burning question.
Sure.
Because you mentioned about desk job, I'm part of that.
Yeah.
What part of the day you should exercise, and how much is good enough? And is it weight training or running, or what could it be?
That's a great question. So what does desk job usually do to us? Basically more sitting and less movement. That is one thing. Second aspect of desk job, of course, it adds stress. The kind of desk job, of course, we are in, but most of the time it also adds stress. Now we have to understand what is that time if I have to choose exercising on a regular basis, not daily. Okay. So if I have given myself, like, let's start with 3 days a week. Okay. And I can, of course, move rest of the time, walk, or have one of the yoga session just to, relax and de-stress myself. So definitely your number one bet should be, how can I strength train and add muscles? So muscles has the power to keep burning fat even after, up to 3 days. Whereas walking or, any other cardio will not have that much effect on your fat burning capacity. That is number one. Of course, more bone health, muscle mass has other areas, lots of good benefits, but pick up a time that you can consistently follow. That's important. If you decide, okay, office se aate say, I'm gonna hit the gym, but if you're not really, every day you come with so much stress, and then you do not feel like going to the gym, you might skip it. Second thing, if you want to spend some quality good time with your kids, and if that is the only room, then eventually you will also miss that, correct? If you are an early bird, or if you think maybe, before the world wakes up, let me just wake up 20 minutes early, 20 to 30 minutes, and I can just finish this done. This is done. Then that will also have a good carryover effect on your other decisions in the rest of the day, how I eat. There are such a positive changes, right? One, it's like a domino effect. So you choose people who train in the evening, of course, they also show great results. People who train in the morning, they also show results. Results come from consistency, following that routine, not just once in a week, or not just for 1 week, but do that multiple times.
Thank you.
Most welcome. I think any advice for us in our 20s? That is a very good question. If my best advice will be, start training early on. Okay. Do not run behind, or do not chase any body fat per se, like images issues. I see this, I work with many teenagers, and I have seen this, that they develop certain eating disorder simply because they think that I have to be or look a certain way. Our genes are different, our bone structures are different, right? You want to feel healthy. So in 20s, the entire goal should be, how can I invest into my health right now, just like you are investing in your stocks, because that is how it's going to give you the compounding results. So what is compounding results? Right now, if I'm going to Bharat, I'm definitely least worried about, oh, will I gain weight? No, because for last 10 years, I have been strength training. I have been working on all the good behaviors around food. So I know, even if I just spend those 4 weeks, my body will not gain like 10 pounds of fat, even if it is whatever it is, little bit it is water weight. So I can actually get back. So main important thing is in 20s, invest in your muscles. Big time. All the kids, they should be strength training. This helps. A lot of mental health issues are also, they get help with that. So yeah, that's it. Any other question? I think.
Sujal, I think in the interest of time, maybe one or two more questions, and then
I think we are good. I think I covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think at this point would like to take an opportunity to thank you, Sujal. I think what we learned today in an hour, I think would have spent at least 6 months to even research about it. So that's the beauty and power of events like these, which will educate you, motivate you, and make you work and actually take some steps to make yourself feel better. With that, Sujal will pass it to you to maybe share your feedback on how do you feel about coming to JCS and YJP and any thoughts that you may have.
Honestly, I am stoked to see so many registrations. We had almost 190 plus. That is beautiful. Like the initiative by YJP and JCS is amazing. We have to keep things, like going on. One is, this is a platform where people actually can take help, and also without actually, wasting time. Time is such an important resource, right? So I think I love the idea of bringing our community and then addressing their health issues in a way where you have some directions and you do not, feel lost and confused, and then start working on that. Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate. I am super honored, and in future as well, I'm definitely looking forward to, as we were discussing, Apuruji, there is so much to talk about health, right? There's so many like hormones or so many other areas, and I think one of that can happen in Chicago, where we do where we meet for Jaina convention in person. So that is something I'm looking forward to, and feel free to connect on socials with me. My Instagram is Sujal_Nutrifitworld, and Facebook is Sujal Sancheti, and I think we can just send that. Maybe I forgot to make that slide, but we can
Yeah,
just
we will
put
do.
that in the email. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. I think at this point, really appreciate the full JCS and YJP community to come together to volunteer and help and support. And thank you very much, all the participants who came in and learned about how to take care of yourself and asked some very interesting and important questions. Hopefully, you implement a few ideas that you learned today, and please share the feedback you may have. In the chat box, we have put a support link. In case you liked what you hear, please help us out. We are part of Jaina. Whatever activities we do, we go and support the community. So in case you can support us with any contribution, doesn't have to be any particular number, would be happy to see it coming through. Again, thank you very much, Sujal, for being here. And thank you, everybody, for being on the call to support this particular event. Jai Jinendra, and we will see you again on March 1st with a beautiful next event, which will be coming into your inbox soon. And with that, thank you, everybody. And I respectfully ask JCS and YJP team to stay on for our photo today. Thank you. And Sujal and Niranjan Bhai, please stay on as well. Thank you. And yes, Manarankal, Nikita, please. I see, I think Navin Bhai has joined too. Navin Bhai. Yeah. Yeah. And all YJP team, please stay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jain.
Thank you, Ritika. All right. So I think this is a good time. Ashwita, are we good with a photo opportunity? Do you see everybody? If anybody can turn on their webcams, this is the time. We want to take a group photo. Ashwin Bhai, we see you there.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent. Let's just do a little count here. So Manan is here. I see. Yeah, Mitul Bhai is here. Oh, amazing. You're there. Dipesh Bhai, I see. Ashwita, thanks for managing the show today on the tech side. And Ronak was here as well. Thank you. I see. I think everybody is here. We can take a photo. I think Ronak left, but we can.
Your video is off. Okay. Oh, that is a different phone.
Yeah. All right. So just 1 second. Go here. Okay. So Ashwita, whenever you're ready.
Okay, on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, have a good evening, everybody. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Sujal.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.
Great, Jinendra.
Good job, Ashwita.
Thank you, Uncle.
And good job, Apurva and Nikita and everybody.
Sure.
It was a
Thank you,
great.
Ashwin Bhai, for joining.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you, Manar
Okay,
Uncle.
nice meeting you.
Okay, I'll stop now the meeting.